I've decided to do a rewatch of Uncut Gems just because I don't know. I just kind of I think it's a fascinating film. I really enjoyed it. It's been a couple years, and I'm going back in for more. It's just one of Adam Sandler's most unique roles. I am an Adam Sandler fan. Not that everything's perfect, but he's it's a good time generally speaking. But dude, just watching up to this, taking a little reflection on what's happened so far at 22 minutes and 23 seconds. The fucking moment when of sincere and true regret about his I don't know what it would be, need to appeal to this athlete to impress him. He doesn't want him to leave. He's just so desperate for his approval and respect because he probably was going to sell him that watch. That was his plan A. Sell him that watch. Fucking that is not an option anymore. Uh, and so he's like, now he can't make him happy. But he really is desperate little man to make him happy because I don't know, he just has that need, um, driven by ego. And then when he finally gets to the moment of reflection that this he's been trying to get this rock for 17 months, and he's just out of ego made a horrible now he has to basically break this guy's heart, and I don't think actually forget how he's going to make this decision. I'm stopped it before that decision, before he kind of responds, because he's just like, let me hold it for a night. But I'm sure there's an implication about the auction. It'll get pulled from the auction, but the contract he signed to sign it to the auction, one, it's committal. If he breaks contract, he can get sued. There's probably a whole bunch of legal implications that he's thinking about because he's a smart businessman who just made a horrible decision. He's probably about to make a worse one in a second because otherwise it wouldn't be a film, I guess, right? There's going to be something horrible happening very shortly, very closely related to this interaction. And I'm probably sure a couple other, we've already set up like I don't know what they are, Russian, you owe me money. The other, like he owes like money or commitment to like, multiple people already, dude. And it's just fucking like a day in the life of this guy, probably, it's just, that's the level of shit he's up to. But anyway, so now I see it like I would describe him as super self pitying himself for his own stupidity at having the ego to, it's just like that domino effect of how one thing leads to another. And now he's looking this decision in the headlights. Well, it's marvelous. I really think the way he sinks into despair. It's great. All right, I made a small cut there. I just kind of continued watching until about the 110 mark. And dude, this movie's just a marvel. Howard just is the most interesting person on earth. That's basically what this movie's about. Because it's not really that. It's not like just one. It's not a story about one major catastrophe. Almost every 2 minutes, Howard runs into something that would be like a major catastrophe for almost anybody on any given day. Like almost every single plot point is something. Like everything is like Howard's just imagine a table with like 20 cups on it, and there's one rock under all of it, and that's the true value. That's like what that's the thing you finally have to cash out to pay everything off, and he's lost that fucking value, and so he's always just moving the rock around so that the whole system doesn't collapse. That's Howard's whole life. It's the most delicate web of craziness ever. And he's just such an interesting guy. He's kind of got like a high society, life with his wife and his kids. I mean, like they're very much in the community, so to speak. And then he's kind of got like these like underground, or even just like kind of regular business where he's just like a jewels, store owner. Okay, not an illegitimate business per se. And then his low life where he's a gambling man, dude. He's got money that he's loaning out that is not his money, that's debt that he's got. He's just always tossing this rock around, and the only thing that he did right was like make this good bet, and that single thing is canceled out by because one of the guy who was fucking getting his rock tossed around fucking put the stop to that shit. And it's just the whole system just collapsing all the time. Just to speak quickly about Julia, the like, dude, he's got so many love interests. It's kind of insane. He's got like his wife, his girlfriend. I think that he has like an apartment with the and then I think Julia is, I think just the same as the, you know, um, the girl who works the store, and is also his like secret girlfriend on the side, like his second girlfriend. I think if I understand this correctly, and he really loves her the most. I think at this point in his life, because she's just probably super fun. Makes him feel very good, and like in the scene when he's in the closet, he's they're sexting or whatever, and sometimes sexting, the safety of it is whatever's actually you're doing. You could be reading a book, fucking like whatever. You're just making it up. You don't have to be doing all that shit. But she actually is just doing it, and he's sitting in the closet. She like shows that she really actually might like him for for him, which is that's pure love. And dude, that's the most coveted kind, because some of the time the shit's so purely transactional that it's nice to actually be wanted. I guess I don't know. That's so fucked up to say, but like sometimes people really do just like love the way you are, and that's all it is. But anyway, so far, pretty fun. Keep going. All right, taking another small pause at about 137:29. The thing about Howard's life is he really is the most interesting man. There's just nothing in his life that isn't just fucking fascinating. You know, the the girlfriend leaving. It's just all so dramatic. All of the family events, and the fact that like like some of the most indebted people that he's indebted to were like his own family, and they're like awkwardly moving around these family gatherings. He's got like his super high, super elderly, retired folks probably like, spotting him huge sums of cash, and like he's just the fucking thing just keeps getting passed and passed and passed around, and he just keeps making a bigger bet and a bigger bet and a bigger bet. I mean, this is why I almost wish this movie didn't exist because of the gambling epidemic. Like I really just wish people would stop this behavior, but it's just people can't stop because like the end, like because the biggest thing we have in this world in a way is now currency. If you can't pay your rent, bro, you're cooked. You're fucking donezo, boy. You need that money. So if what your addiction is the thing that determines like whether or not you can afford to have a place to sleep, it's a horrible place to be. It's I don't know if it's worse than being in a place where you don't know if you're gonna die. If like you're drug addicted, but I mean it's a really bad spot to be in. In complete financial burden. It's pretty hard to accept to build back up from essentially zero when you get to this level, and you might have to even file bankruptcy. But anyway, um, that's pretty much the position that this character is in, as he's falling down that hole. The only thing that can save him is to bet even bigger and bet even badder and just fucking go down the fucking hole. And well, I'm pretty sure that he wins at the end of the film. Mostly, right? You know what I mean? He cannot win every single one of these relationships and plot lines, and he's still gonna have to figure out some of the pieces because his life will never be that simple. But I think he's still gonna hit big because I think this film kind of almost glorify is like I don't know what you want to call it. It's an interesting look at gambling, but this shit is insane that people really are going through this somewhere in the world. I don't think it's been very long since the last pause. I just want to fucking laugh about how hilarious it is when Julia comes back into the apartment when Howard has finally, I think, found rock bottom, but possibly not because this film just doesn't stop going. And it's just so funny that these two, like, he wants to love her so bad, man, because he does know deep down that it's real. Like he just always doubts if it's true or not. But she gives so much evidence to the contrary, that he just wants it so bad, it's hard to resist, right? Um, when she gets the tattoo, when he starts like self pitying himself so much more, I'm not worth it, bro. Fucking Adam Sandler really crushed this role, just depicting the absolute madness that this complex net web of fucking craziness that this character has woven into his life. It's so funny. Oh wow, I paused it right before he finally got like the value needed to cover all his debts. The 175 for the opal. This thing, the uncut gem, of course, has been like the little gem and the main decision that he let go of possession of this thing. If he would have just told that story and then kept it, um, that would have been the best outcome. Just maintain possession of the item to get the sure payout and get it legit. You know. Anyway, it's also interesting that if 175, the off the side deal fucking bet is all he really needed, the fact that KG wanted it for 180, and then they pushed to 190, and then he bailed. It's like, oh my fuck, you guys are, he's just such a, he's just such a moron. It's just so funny. But and now he's so excited, and we might see him start to win. Uh, Crazy fucking movie, man. Oh man, when he starts to win, bro, you can really start to feel how this could be addictive. The speech when he's given, this is how I win. Like he's describing to him how like you might be the best in your field. Like, me and you are the same. Like we are apex predators in our space. I'm the number one degenerate gambler that this fucking world has ever known. And I'm gonna win. And you're gonna win. And we're gonna place a bet. Like it's so epic. Like he just cannot stop. You know what I mean? He just cannot stop. And he's finally got hope, dude. Dude, the staircase of despair was so long and hard for him to fucking try and rock it back up, and he's just climb his. He's just in the mud, dude, and he's betting it all every single time, every opportunity, every dollar he can scrape. He just is sending it every time, and he's hoping to win. Oh my god, I fucking love the ending of this movie. I'm at the 158.24 when they win the tip. It's just it's so funny just to see him keep making the fucking stone roll down the hill and gather more and more dirt and grime, and now it's just this fucking mountain-sized object rolling down the hill, and like here comes the tip. But I'm gonna really enjoy the fucking end. This will be the last one I make before my overall thoughts, but just the way he said, "We got to get this tip." Like, yeah, we got it. We would have been fucked if we didn't get that. Like, yeah, you're gonna be fucked if you don't get any of it. That's what the fuck a three-way parlay is all about. It's just so funny to see him like I don't know, go through all of the phases of fucking fear and pain that a sports gambler must face. Man, what a crazy finale! It's actually insane. I kind of forgot that he died. Oh my god. Um, yeah, all every he wins. Really, the people that won was KG. Man, he had an exceptional fucking night and week in general. Like he was probably he was having the best time of his fucking life probably. Um, and the girlfriend has a pretty good time of it. I guess she walks away 1.2 mil. Uh, just she just lost. I guess what is genuinely for her like the guy she really loved. That's one of the interesting little subplots of this movie is that you know she really does love him and all his fucking insaneness. She's down for him, dude. And it's just like it's understandable how you could want to I don't know throw away possibly just a kind of dwindling marriage. The idea of something like this. I can see how it could be tempting for somebody. I don't think you should do it, no matter how strong the temptation. But anyway, I mean, it's just interesting to see these chaotic kind of characters go and do their thing. But yeah, I mean, the fucking parlay hits. She manipulates this fucking superstar, famous guy. He's kind of fading, but just still trying to get some. I don't know. He's super. Whatever. He's an interesting little side character. She just manipulates him because she really doesn't give a fuck. Again, she's not like she doesn't really care about like money. She likes she has fun. She shines like the sun. That's really, I guess, what this girl. I remember watching this movie. She blew up like after this, man, because she really just kind of radiates something that's just kind of like addictive. And if like she just kind of it feels like the perfect woman. That maybe I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but it's just she'd be a lot of fun, I suppose. And if she loved you for real, that's just like the dream, I suppose, of the average man. Just a woman who is lovely, who loves you. It's a contagious idea. But anyway, so it's funny. I don't know. Then it's gonna, they kind of he's dead, and kind of all these things that you want to know how they go down. Um, you don't get to enjoy it. It's a tragedy. Out of the him and his brother are dead because the real gangsters are fucking way harder than you. You might be the best professional degenerate gambler of all time, but you're not the best fucking Russian mobster, and they fucking saw your bluff, so to speak. And then your life's over. Fucking absolutely possible, absolutely insane, and probably not necessarily that unlikely in a character like this. Not that hopefully that many people are this level of down the rabbit hole, but absolutely just a super fast paced film. A look at this, I don't know, epidemic, and it's kind of I don't really feel like it promotes it. I don't feel like it. I guess it mostly says, here's why you shouldn't do it, kids. It leads to inevitable death when the bets get too big, unless you decide to just, go through bankruptcy and all that shit, and the burden that would be too. But you can also end up dead if you really go that high. Um, so yeah, I mean, I guess it's advocating against it, but it also they don't really shy away from showing just why it's so addictive as well. But you could almost see it as a promotion. But I think the overall message is definitely stay away from this. And like what I like to keep my money personally. I don't like to uh, gamble away my money. I like to hold on to it. Money belongs in the bank account.